Yahweh, you are too much for me. Yahweh, Yahweh, you are too much for me. Hey, Yahweh, you are too much for me. Jehovah Elohim God, you are too much for me. Jehovah Rabboni, you are too much for me. Ancient Sunday, you are too much for me. When I was down, you lifted me up. You turn my ashes to beauty, Lord. You favor me and bless me. Oh, you are too much for me. Everything about me is unique. Everywhere I go, I am favored, Lord. There's no God that I can compare to you. Oh, you are too much for me. You are too much for me. Ancients of days. You are too much for me. Jehovah Rabboni. You are too much for me. Ancients of days. You are more than enough. You are too much for me. 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 Everything that happens, give the Lord praise. It doesn't matter, oh, oh. You are too much for me, Daddy. You are too much for me, Lord. You are too much for me, Papa. You are too much in my life, Lord. My mind cannot understand your goodness. My brain cannot comprehend your wonders. My neighbors cannot calculate your blessing. Even my friends cannot imagine your glory. You are too much for me, Daddy. You are too much in my life, Lord. Reliable God you are, Daddy. Your necessity God you reign. Your supremacy you rule forever.
Well, good evening, folks. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Saying to the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. There's the voice of Minister Ty Border fitting up right here on the Liberia Public Radio.
You exalt me above my enemy, and you bless me the wings of eagle. I am nothing without you, Lord. I am nothing without you, Lord. Hopeless without Jehovah. I am useless without your grace, Lord.
And that's what we do here. We promote what comes out of Liberia, the culture and the beauty of Liberia. Not just on the critique, but we also look at the other good opponents and other aspects of the country. Stay tuned with my Alfonso Saying so.
Daddy, you are too much for me. Hey, Yahweh, you are too much for me. Jehovah Elohim God, you are too much for me. Jehovah Rabboni, you are too much for me. Ancient of days, you are too much for me. You are more than enough. You are too much for me. You are bigger than the world I see. You are too much for me. No one like you, Lord.
Welcome, folks. I'm Alfonso Saying so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. And very shortly, we're going to get the program going. Well, let me pause this music. I'm going to get the program going as usual. Today is the forum is an informative news magazine right here on the Liberia Public Radio. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners inside Liberia, right here in the USA and other parts of the world. Good evening and welcome. Do us a favor, share the podcast as usual. We're going to be having a conversation here all about Liberia and things that we need to know as well. Very shortly, my team of analysts, panelists, contributor, the most elaborate on this network, the moderate, the far right man, and the blue Democrat, all teaming out here in dissenting views to discuss issue and news making headlines right here on LPR and other part of the world. Stay tuned. Let's get the program rolling. Good evening. Good evening. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing this beautiful evening, afternoon, morning, or whatever you are. With us, I'm Afonso Z, and so, as usual, right here at the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Right here, we discuss issues, undo personality, get to the critical issues, no makeup, no insinuating, no subliminal news, no bye-biting, but we just get basically to the issues and some of the news that making headlines. And our ultimate goal is to shift the conversation, to redirect the conversation, because the politicians, the advocates, journalists, talk show hosts, all of us seems to lose sight, and that is creating a potential problem on the rest of the Liberian people, because we should be in a driving force. If these politicians are about to pivot and to create their own talking point that will not in any way be beneficiary to the people of Liberia, we must have the ability to redirect them and bring the issues right to the point. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing right here on this network. I hope for the time it's 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. And we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for being part of today's program. As usual, we discuss issues, as I said, and we're going to be bringing you news, making headlines as well, and some of the things that you or all of us need to know. And please, let me tell you, always put yourself in the position to challenge those of us that sit behind the microphone and throw anything out there, be it a red meat or some sort of soundbite, simply because we want to entice people. You must have the ability to question and verify things that we say. That's all about this business here. Verify, make sure your information are correct and put it out there, because it does have the propensity to create chaos and unhealthy situation for our people. Let's see some of the news making headline here. News just coming in from France 24. Mali ex-Prime Minister Maggie's died on medical parole. Remember, this guy was accused of alleged corruption. He was arrested over corruption situation. And we are just getting news. His lawyers has reported that in Mali, the former Prime Minister, yeah, he died at the age of 68. A former prime minister accused of corruption, and he was in jail. No one should be above the law. You know what is happening in South Africa now, former president. And I think this needs to go beyond the globe. People should be held accountable of their behaviors, of their attitude, and dishonesty to society. Not just only politicians, all of us, advocates, radio talk show, broadcaster, commentators, ordinary citizen. If you insinuate and it causes another person's life, if you steal, take thing. Because when people take it, when the little men take it, it's a steal. When the big guys take it, then they say embezzle. Then they modify the English language with the sole purpose to confuse and diffuse the ordinary people. But I strongly feel we all must be held accountable of our action, things that we do. But how can we also manage with those who justify their actions and being heavily supported by their people, giving such justifications of things that they do? We're going to be having all of that here and some of the news. Interestingly, we're monitoring one of the sister network today inside Liberia. The Senate, there were insurrections and the dual citizenship came into place. And I was hearing some of the senators, we got to take it back to our people. It was defeated. It was this, blah, 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 blah. But when the 30K came about, not single or then to raise your hand and say, let's go ask we want to go ask my constituent as to whether we will receive this 30K. Political correctness is part of what is in the DNA of our politicians. And when they take it, they come back to say they are doing projects, they are building bridges, they are building hospitals, they are building market. That's not the job of a senator, of a representative. No, then it appears they do not know their function. Let me bring the guy from the far right, as being described by the liberal progressive, Mr. Amos George, is right here. I'm not sure the man from Nairobi going to be here, but it's never too late. It's better late than never. We're going to be having a conversation here this evening. I'm Alfonso Z, and so let's get the ball rolling. Let me move this here. Let me bring in here. Oh my goodness, another trouble in Soweto again this evening. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm going to make him last because if I put him first, he doesn't like me. He's still going to talk. He's still going to align me with people that. So it doesn't matter. Let me bring in my man, Amos George here. We speak the same language, the same tune here, and I'm going to bring in the most liberal on this network. The most liberal on this network. He believes people sharing their wealth with other people. You know, that's who he is. He should move in Massachusetts, but then say, anyway, Massachusetts is synonymous to California, so he stay right there. I don't want him within my proximity. Let me bring in a liberal progressive, Samson Broku Brown Toyota is based in Saxton, Sacramento, California, and is the host of a conversation with Samson To, commentator, engineer, and everything all in one. What you put as your favor? You think you're gonna fight me? Please, don't even go there. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So I haven't even started talking yet. The center right already drinking, and let me join him as well. to drink a little bit.
If you in authority in Liberia, hell gonna break loose. You will wish hunt people crazy. Honestly.
Good
Anybody
evening,
look at you with that
Mr.
mouth, you're lock him up. You lock her up.
Yeah.
That's how you will behave. You'll be more than gange. Nobody will even cross in front of your house. Okay, gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening, Mr. Labor. You went to my hometown, and I heard that the people hosted you.
Oh, they did. They did.
You see that?
The people in Banga, I wish Monrovia was Banga. And I think that you will truly, truly enjoy yourself. I went and then just before you go on, Mr. So let me just say a little bit here. So I went to Banga. There's a hotel at what they call the road that take you to Lofa Highway. There's a hotel on your when you go into Lofa. There's a hotel on your left hand side. So I went in there, and the young lady, I mean, very young. She owns the whole place. But the night that I went to register, I talked to the young man, and I went in, and the young man explained to me, how much the price was and everything. We stayed there, but what the young man didn't tell me was that the lights were on when I went in, but then the light would go off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then yes. So when I got in, without knowing all of those things, I didn't decide. I was waiting in the morning for me to iron my clothes.
Oh, Lord.
So early in the morning, I got up, no light. So I went to the gentleman. I said, "What happened?" Oh, said, "Oh, I didn't tell you. The light we saved the light in the morning. With 6 o'clock, we cut it off." So I said, "No generator." She said, "No." I said, "Okay, well, how can I iron my clothes?" So he pointed across the road where they have the old iron where you put fire
The
coal.
coal in.
Yes. So I said, "Okay." So I was going across the road. Going down with my clothes, and the young lady that owned the place, she said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to go iron my clothes." She said, "Why?" I said, "Well, the guy that run this place said that in the morning they turn it." So she said, "Stay right there, stay with the puppy. Don't go." Call the guy. Said, "Go turn the generator on."
So you?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
you know that you are trouble, man.
She's a young lady.
So they're going to call people papi.
Yeah. So
oh yeah, our man, everybody.
So
they
put a generator on. I went to iron my clothes, but I went across the road. I've already made commitment that I was coming back. So after ironing my clothes, I went across the road. I gave, they have the Liberty $100 here, $50 here, which means nothing anyway. So I give the guy $200 without ironing my clothes. But he said, "Oh, thank you, thank you. I like that." So, but that's just to show you the people in Banga are very, very, very good people.
A customer
It's
service.
unbelievable.
Good customer service.
Yes, yes, yes. And that hotel, I just don't remember the name now, but anybody that go to Banga, that's a place to stay. It's a nice hotel. And I was going to do an interview with a lady, but by the time we were done with the engineering program, it was just too late. But anyway, Mr. So please, I just want to bring that up as well.
Yeah. Let's see. They got a saying that say that Bamboula wants to die. He can't hear whistles and all the goodness of this man town, his city. When you come here, you become so mean to him. You call him names and you say,
The
Oh
"Oh,
no,
people, the
not me
people,
to me. No, no,
the,
no, 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 no. Mr. So
the people
no.
good, the people
Uh-uh.
good, but that I ain't, they don't transfer with him.
No,
He's a
Mr. To,
conservative. He's a
no, Mr.
conservative.
To, I will come. Mr. To, I will come for you. Mr. To
Okay.
is not mean to me. He's not mean to me. He's my buddy.
it's a
Right.
dangerous thing to do business with this guy here. This Imon judgment. It's a very stupid thing to do business. You never know which way he's going to turn. Okay, gentlemen, let's
He's
get a
a
conversation.
central right.
Yeah, you know, it was Georgia that almost brought trouble in
Yeah.
this country.
Trump
So
back
people,
in.
yeah, so people from Georgia, I think we've got to be very careful. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome. It's good to be back here. Let's start off today by being gracious and be a little bit magnanimous here at the Liberal. How was your day today, buddy?
It was good. Thank God. Thank God. We got a lot of things done today. Uh, Incidentally, now, sometimes as a liberal, when you go somewhere, you tend to profess your liberalism all over. So there was a guy that I was supposed to meet with today. This is work, and this guy before meeting, I had calls from higher ups telling me you have to be very careful because this guy was, very rude. So I said, well, that's fine. But the way I approached the guy in the meeting today, just making to melt it,
I know you were scary. All I
not
knew was
scared
you
of
were
what that I sound from total. I would be scared of
right.
white man. I'll be scared of. I'm scared of Jerry. We had that white man. I'll be scared of. I beg you, man. So anyway,
You
I
start running
approached.
your mouth again.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
start running your mouth again.
that's okay.
I got
That's
a call.
I'm
I got
scared.
a call last night. They say, "Oh, when this guy, we'll be monitoring when he coming back because when he's here, nobody knows when he's here. But as soon as he gets back, then he
Joy,
will
we are
start running."
saying, Joy, we are saying, not hunting anybody. You know who in Liberia right now? I don't want to call name, but people who in Liberia right now, I don't want to call name, but they are sending people in Liberia right now. So if those people can be in Liberia, definitely the block
Oh,
will
But
be
Pastor,
here.
don't say you want to Pastor. We are
As
there.
long
Don't.
Costa is not being hurt, hunted, I don't think anybody can go. I don't know what a Prophet Key or whoever is there. Okay, Pa George, how was your day?
Oh, great.
Great. Okay, he always keep it short. Okay, gentlemen, we're going to open it up here this evening, and let's call our panelists. And if any one I would do that, let me get you guys consent. So anybody who wants to form part of this comfort, I was listening to our sister network television this evening, one of the largest, in this five biggest platform, not biggest platform, this and that. I'm not a fan of that. What I'm a fan of a substance of a conversation. I listened to something to Musa ability, Hassan Musa ability, Liberty Party. I listened to Mada of Unity Party, and you have scores of people listening, and you having those people they are talking, behaving like children, leaders of major political parties in the country, having conversation like somebody sitting under the palm one tree. Yes, being under the palm one tree is not bad, but
No, the
when
people
they
on the
have
power,
the
they
it's
don't
not
talk one
about being on the
time.
palm. Eh?
The people on the power, you got rules. You don't just get there and
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. Okay, like that's what I'll come into. Coming on being on the palm one tree is not a bad thing because people of wisdom are always there. But I was appalled, and I think maybe with a few that would know, it's a serious network. And when they bring these people, I'm not saying that there's no time to have, lively or jovial stuff. But where you having one person talking, another person intruding, it's It's just not good. It shows no seriousness, these people. And that's how these politicians march on us. I will listen to ability. I'll listen to Mada or Ama Mada or what his name, the Unity Party chairperson. Other ones, I will call you chairman. Other one, I can't call you chairman. Come on. You have Liberians listening. We are in a very consequential time. People are trying to find a way, figure a way, find a way out for better Liberia. And you have leaders who in charge of political institutions, who people look up to for a good sense of direction, and they come on a major news outlet and they are behaving like toddlers. That's crazy. So, but it is again, it is why it is, and this is why they choose to
But
where they want to go because they want to have a free pass, they want to have an entertainment, they want to create a political satire, and Liberians love drama. If I were to take up this quote here now and start flying all over here, 555 people will share this video and say, "Come and see what's going on." I can't believe what's happening. You know, but it is time for us to take our rightful place. And this challenge is on us in the media industry to help to drive this and give the people a hope and sense of direction, things that matters for the country, things the kind of conversation, the kind of conversation we're supposed to be having. You can agree with me and disagree with me, but the context in which those conversations will be held and conducted. And so when you have the opportunity to have these decision maker, their decision, thousands of Liberians' lives hang on these people's decision. And then they come, they're behaving like a children. That's ridiculous. So let me go into the liberal playbook here. I know he's always on the other side of the world, and that's who he is here. But let me go into your playbook here this evening. The liberal, what is in your folder?
Well, Mr. So, thank you very much. First thing I want to open the show with is, people are different, and we can't mind the noise in the market. We're gonna continue
Yeah,
to
I
even
think Duado, yeah, I think Duado, Duado just justify what I say, and it's
right,
not
right,
envious of the network. They bring
right.
these people
But
in this.
yes,
Like,
the only
it's so embarrassing. Complete embarrassment. I don't know. It's like I come in liberal. One time I will go back to this here because it brings a reflection to me. I didn't know. They don't. People don't know how many people listen to people, not necessarily Liberians, not necessarily your partisan. And I tell you what, at my job, it's a Nigerian guy there, professional guy. And all along he was monitoring me. I didn't know until all of a sudden something we're talking. He just told that, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Well, I didn't know you were doing this, but I listened to a lot of folks. But I can say you people are blessed." Liberian, like, what do you mean? He said, "We don't have this. People have stuff, but a different thing you don't see besides the network that are plenty." And that's why if you listen to channels on YouTube, Nigeria is a huge one. Their conversation. He said, "But we don't have something like this here outside of Nigeria. Sierra Leone, Voice of Sierra Leone, they have something. My mentor at Tarawari, they have something good." He said, "But we don't have it." So I subscribe to your network, and by the time it comes on, I get because I listen to things. So these people, they need to understand. Their supporter need to tell them it's not just only Liberians, it's not only their partisan, for God's sake. Their 1 hour or 2 hours must be used wisely to make their case, to argument their agenda for which they are supporting this individual they are supporting. But when it comes, then they behave like a babies. Go ahead.
no, but basically, Mr. Soul, what I was going to say, and I just want to say this here quickly, is that they are who they are, and there's nothing we can do to change it. Let them continue to do what they're doing. We consider our platform one of the intellectual platform. You come over
We
here,
can't allow them to have their way.
Mr. Soul.
I want to lead my country. If you want them to have their way, let them. You can allow them. I am not going to allow them. We will
Yeah,
tell.
you
That's the
can.
great thing
What
of
the
that.
basically what I'm saying is I don't want to waste my time with them. And yes, the reason with that. Liberians, as you correctly stated, love drama. And I have a video here for one of the talk show personality by the name of Class D, where he said pretty much talking about LPR, except for calling LPR. You got these gentlemen, they come and wear glasses and put on their coat suit, and nobody listen to them. But you got people like, oh, we come over here. Even if I wear t-shirt, I say something, you got 600-700 people watching me. People cussing each other. The people watch Liberian-led drama. I have the video here. I just don't want to play it right now. But I have the video of him making that statement. So this is what Liberian like. They like drama. And these people come on, and whatever they do on their show, for me, it doesn't matter to me. Not that I don't watch it. I watch it sometimes, but most of the time I watch it after their live program. Because people, and they are intellectuals on that platform. PhD, highly qualified, highly educated. But for some reason, they're taking that platform to be like a play toy. Whereas if they're lucky and they're blessed to have serious political leaders to come on their platform, where they're supposed to ascertain from them some set of information that is going to be beneficial to the Liberian people, beneficiary to the Liberian people. They do not do that. They come on these platforms, and sometimes they outright rude to their guests. They come on these platforms, sometimes insult the guests for no reason. Guess what? The guests themselves love to go back on there. So that's something they like, and I don't want to waste my time with it. Let me just say this, Mr. Smith. Good evening. That's my best friend here. Mr. To, I am not.
Why you are so addicted to people
running away? Should we let monkey burn? You hear that? You hear Mr. Smith? Like I told
you, Smith is my strong fan. Why are you always?
Yeah, but listen. I told you, and Victor Smith when we were in his office sometime a few weeks ago. I told both of you. All of you that sing, listen to what he's saying. That sounds just like you.
No, but Mr. Toe, read what Victor said. Then I'll ask him.
Yeah, it sounds just like Mr. The conservative was saying. He said, Mr. Toe, I am not surprised because you are always running away. Should we let monkey burn the town, Mr. Toe? Listen to that. That sounds like...
because you're saying that you don't want to waste your time. It means that we're giving you people free passage to chunk garbage to our people.
No. You see, this is I'm a liberal. This is where you
nothing wrong with you being liberal.
And Mr. So always missing my point. Yes, Mr. So, I hope this show is going to be beautiful here tonight. Please, this is the point that I'm making. These are people, they have the right to do whatever it is they're doing, as long as they are not violating any other person's right. Who are you to police? Who are you to police? Mr. Center, right? I'm speaking. Please. Who are you to police the internet? These are people that have their platform. They do whatever they want to do. And Liberians gravitate towards that. So the fact that they get more viewers, they believe by doing these things, they're getting more people to watch them. So what? So let's carry on our show. Let's have our own platform the way it's supposed to be, the way we see it necessary.
You know what happened?
Not try to criticize even try to pay attention to whatever they're doing.
No, that's
not what Mr. Todd, you're missing the point. We are on an obligation to inform the Liberian people. So if you have a platform that a minister, a party chairman will come there, it is your responsibility to stabilize a conversation so that people can hear what each person is saying. It's not Jerry Springer show. You are there. These people are putting out information that will have the potential either to better someone's life or to destroy their life. So we have to be very careful.
But Mr. George, I don't mean to interrupt, please. If these people, the audience determine the contents of their topic, to be honest with you. If they comes out and they are being punished by the audience, for example, these are intellectual. Ben Senvi has master's degree, and they have a lady over there who is also a PhD. So they're highly educated. These people are not something Johnny come lately. Even the Witherspoon himself, highly educated, well respected. But yes,
it
still,
doesn't
let me
mean
finish my point. Let me finish. So what I'm saying to you is this: when they come on, they got over 1,000, 5,000 sometimes viewer. So that means what the viewer themselves love what they're doing. So we can sit here and say they're obligated to give the audience some sense of responsibility. We can say all that, but the audience themselves love that.
well,
So
let me tell
right
you.
now, I bet you, if we
Let
were
me
to
tell
go
you.
contrary to what we're discussing right now,
If
we'll have a
90%,
lot of people. But that's
no,
not my point.
if 90% of the people follow them, the 10% that doesn't follow them, we owe those 10% an explanation. We not sit down on this platform and people cannot discuss the substance of the issue that affecting the country. And we say, oh, because they got 1,000 followers, so let it do anything. No. We cannot go
okay,
down that
let's
path.
we're
We
gonna be getting
have
to
to
our
continue to
conversation.
call them out that this is not the way. If you have two
I
children
disagree. I disagree.
well,
As liberal, I will not sit here on this
it is
platform and
just hold on.
let you try to muscle people to come your way. I don't agree. If
Would
these
you?
people have the obligation, I agree with you on that. But if the obligation is not being utilized, let them do whatever they have the
No, we
freedom.
cannot remain
That's why
silent.
we all have the freedom to say what we want to say.
So
Yes, but that's
let me ask
why.
you the
So,
question here.
so
Let me ask you
if we have the freedom to say what we want to say, why are you telling me you
so
disagree with me? Why are you
yeah,
saying that I should not say it? So we have the freedom. Let me speak
so
my mind.
Pa
I'm saying,
George, Pa
yeah.
George, let me ask this question here. Why is Samson told talking? Why was Samson told sometimes speak about bad governance? This not happening. That's not happening. Why you don't allow those people to do their will?
No, it's different. It's
Why?
different.
No,
So
Why is
totally
it different?
different. It's totally different.
Why
Here's
make
the
it different?
difference between that. These people have their platform where they
I'm
invite
not just
guests.
no. Let's forget about the platform. Is the institution. I'm talking about the individual who are guests on the platform.
Yes, but these individual guests themselves love to be degraded. They love to be insulted because this is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is a continual habit. They love to be in a place where chaotic takes over. Here on this platform, when you have Honorable Kumi here the last time, look at the interview, how respectful it was. You as an interviewer and you as a host, we as your contributor, you advise us. We have a previous discussion. I'm gonna have Kumi at certain time, and then after certain time, you people are gonna come in and have your question. But because of the setting, the way you have the stage set, none of us were able to come in and try to interrupt you while you're having the conversation. It's not gonna happen because that's not what we do here. We all understand that. Now, my point that I'm making here on everything as a liberal, I just want all of you to be mindful that these people have the right to say and do whatever they want to do as long as it is not violating the rules and violating anybody else's right.
It
So
violates my
please
rights.
tell
Hold
me
on.
this.
All
I'm
right, gentlemen,
not going to agree with you.
let's open the
Yeah.
conversation. Let's open the conversation. But I will tell you, if you are party chairman, especially those that are seeking state offices, once you come within the public domain, understanding, seeing, knowing what is unfolding now, they can do whatever they want to do, but we have to call them out as it is, because this sort of irresponsible attitude, that sort of children way of behaving, that sort of carelessness, and they think every Liberian as a joke. This is how, when they take state power today, they will behave to us, because we need to tell them now. But that's okay. We take that. We want to do that. Okay.
Let me make this last point on this, if you don't mind, Mr. Soul. And that is, people take these platforms serious because people come to the. I've always said this on my own show, that the Liberians of our guests or our audience, not that they don't have anything to do. Many of us, many of them as well, have lots of things to do. They can occupy their space, whatever. But the fact that they're tuning into us, for me, it's a sign of respect. First thing. So if I'm going to be discussing anything here on this platform, I want it to be something of a substance. I want it to benefit those who are going to be listening to me. They might not agree with me, but the fact that I'm saying it with truthfulness and with respect to the audience, I think they will understand. Even if they don't agree with me, they will say we don't agree with you. But the fact that I'm respecting them, they in turn will respect me. But if you have a platform where the guest comes in and people are interrupting, even the guest himself or herself tend to fall into that, and sometimes don't want to yield to the moderator. Like, keep talking until when they say, "Can I say
It
something?"
can
Go in
even
and
happen.
listen.
It can even happen in my show.
Exactly. So it is the platform itself that link themselves to those kinds of stuff. But the
Yeah. All
overall
right.
view I want to
So
say on that is, first thing is, let me pull it in Liberian way. And none of your business, you're leaving people alone. They'll move on.
No. Don't even, Mr. Solar, move on. Because I ain't gonna
okay.
respond to that
You
later.
know, okay, I think all right, let's move on. I can remember the last trip to Liberia. I placed a call to the Minister of State, Pumpkin Palm, and I told him I had the interest of sitting with the president. And the first thing, what you want to the president for?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what you want the
Mr.
president for?
So I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to say something to our brother Maki. Already start. Maki, I was in Liberia when I bought this suit, and I told you on my live chat that when I
You
completed
distracting
your
our
mouth from my suit,
conversation.
he's telling me now because I wear yellow now, I want the Liberia to join IE. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Why are you in yellow? You're in yellow. So you see, leave Michael alone. Let he express his view. Why are you so addicted with people expressing their views and opinion? You watching to see who like you. The people don't like you. I told you this thing, but you don't listen.
Okay,
This
whatever.
person is there. Mikey is there. I'm gonna say another person. I don't want to call names here. So he said, "How you want to tell the president?" I said, "Well, I want to discuss with the president. There are some good things and there are some other things that are going on. We want to know." Is there what did he say? No, either. Oh, I should send the question. So I said, yeah. So I told him, I said, no. It is fair to send you an outline, the directions of our conversation. It can be economy, it can be infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. It's fair to give you a sense of where the conversation is going. Right, you can't say, you can't go. I say, okay, let's go. Let's stay. Next day, BBC, because I'm not a white man, I'm not bleaching. BBC man call, then whatever it is, why it was when they had a terrible interview. Okay, let's have a conversation here. But again, I'm not looking at necessarily this individual. I'm looking at the future of our country, and that should be our concern. And these people, they are in the vanguard. They profess to be the change agent. And if they are doing things that doesn't look like a change agent, we have to point that out. Okay, let's have a conversation here. Let me play this here, and we can have a conversation here as well. And hopefully, we're going to get that conversation going. Let's listen to this.
I will be ready to vote if my young brother, Senator Dillon, wants to consider this amendment. Lawmaking is a process, it's not an event. And when you talk about, lawmaking is a process. Let me tell the judiciary committee, yes, we are going our vacation. This issue of amending this portion of our constitution, we need to take it with us because this thing was defeated before. Senators have to take it with them now. Thank God. Our citizens who defeated the particular amendment in the past, we are going back to them in a few days. No, I'm proceed. Thank you. Yeah. I will be ready to vote. Yeah. I will be ready to vote if my colleague will agree to accept this amendment that we are going to our constituency in a few days, and therefore we should not limit the debate to this brief period that is talking about, because the difficulty has already been rejected by our people. Bring them back. So let us go to our people and tell them, no, the one you rejected, some modifications have been made. These are the modifications. This was the first one rejected. So we need you to have an equal to come back. But the president was sitting here again. So our humanity was said that we should take on our break and come back with a report and do our next result.
I have several issues that will be not taken by our people and will decide here.
You see, let me see whether my microphone is on. Are you there? Guys, are you hearing me? Let me move the one.
Yeah.
I agree with him on this one here. That was Dylan. These people in that building, those 70, well, they are 103 members, both upper and lower, right? They are 103. These people know exactly what they are doing. Now, Milton Tiaji there. Yes, it's good to take things back to people, but how many issues, national issues that we have been saying, they ever turn their neck to go back to their people? It comes to the dual citizen. When last he went somewhere, I'm wondering. Milton Tiaji, the man who say they confirm people because they have to, they can confirm people based on things. He was caught on tape. Now, this is how it starts. Yes, dual citizen is not an event. He got that point. And you saw Senator Dillon, he firing back at him. How many, when the 30K came, we just heard the next thing, boom. Everybody finished getting a share, people building whatever little projects and stuff like that. But there was another gentleman that spoke today regarding this dual citizenship. But I've talked to a lot of people. All the apprehensions of these people is all to protect their jobs. They feel that you, me, and others, we just want to take their job. Yet instead, some of these people are here and they don't understand the greatness of this country, the innovations of this country. It's immigrant people from all over that become innovators, inventors, industrials, chemists, professional people. This is why when this country, it's just not easy to break apart, because it's a collection of people of different background, no matter where you came from. Our people here together. Mr. George, we want to take this thing back to our people.
Let me just say it. Look, Milton Tiaji is a criminal. The guy is corrupt. So
when last year he went to court before you are
when you go to court from his own mouth, if the man he said will confront people so they can send people to get a job, they're not being corrupt. Is that your response to confront people? Then the person give you in return, you send someone for the man to hire you. Based on that, it's a contract now you sign, it's pay for play. That's been corrupt. From his own mouth, he's on tape. He's corrupt. But yes, the crux of the matter is that just what you said. Milton Tiaji, the people like Milton Tiaji, they are afraid of people from the diaspora. Because some people from Sano County, some young mayor from Sano County, can go to them and challenge Milton Tiaji and say, this man, he's not representing people. XYZ, this is what he has been doing. So, in order to stop those kind of people, this is the best thing they can do, the rope like the put. When the Iboma loan came about, the Milton Tiaji go to Sano consult the people to vote on it. That was a debt that librarians were taking. Then he go to Sano to consult the people to say, hey, we're about to ratify this deal, but this is the amount involved. The country will have to pay, and Sano County is no exception. Then he go back to consult them. all the votes when they were about to impeach Cabinet General. Did he go by the Senate to consult the people? Let's go on. It just shows you how these people are very, very wicked towards their own brothers and sisters. All the crucial vote this man has taken, has he gone back to Senate to consult the people before taking those votes? No. But this one now, he's saying, oh, it was defeated. So we have to go back to the people to tell them there was some ratification made. So now this is why modify this and that. No. What you want to tell you? When last, what part of Sandra you travel? Did you go out? Will you go all through the land and purpose Sandra to talk to everybody there? This is again another way to put a roadblock towards this thing. Not that it's something that we have done, but it's because the threat that it foresee that people from the diaspora, it will give them this thing. Tomorrow we may not have our job, they will come and take our job. So this is the fear they have against this dual citizenship. It's just simple. And the very people, they are very corrupt. That is the problem. Corrupt people.
Okay. So let me bring in the laborer here. We don't want to make him like a spectator before you start baby crying here quickly here.
If you start whining.
Yeah, Lebrot, we all endeavored, it has been all of our message here that we want change, we want good governance, we want the right thing to be done. It just doesn't start with the executive branch. There are 3 branches of government, and these branches must work proportionally with different function in order for the government to effectively move. If you listen to Milton T.A.G., by the way, you saw your sister, she was on the phone there playing. And you saw her? She was on her iPhone playing.
Yeah. She was playing her Candy game.
Serious national conversation. It should be alert. But she was on her phone there playing. I don't know whether she was texting you or whatever you were doing.
She was playing her Candy game.
Yeah. Are you there?
I'm waiting. Are you done?
I feel so bad. The manner and the way in which our people, the way they treat the country.
Mr. So, I have a different take than the center right here on this whole thing here. First thing is, let me just announce again, I'm a liberal progressive. And I think I apologize for nothing that comes out of my mouth, specifically when it comes to liberal view, because that's who I am. Mr. So, the last time I checked, the Milton Cheji and the rest of the senators were duly elected. They did not come to this position through the back door. Let's get that point clear. Now, having said that, these people will only change when and if Liberians voted, not like you, not like the center right that have no voting power, will only change if the Liberian voters punish them, make them pay for some of the bad deals that they are making, and elect people that will bring substantial development to that country. Milton Cheji and his class, I believe, came to this position. They were duly elected, as I stated. But they came to this position through cup of rice and chicken soup. Those things have been set aside by Liberian voters. Liberian voters now are looking for people who have ideas that will be able to bring development in the country. One thing. One other thing I want to say here, Mr. So, is this. People like Milton Cheji, who's also having to be acquaintance of mine. I've known Milton Cheji for a very long time. But here is the thing here. People like Milton Cheji, when it comes to the dual citizenship, what they're doing, for me, yeah, it's hurtful. But guess what? Even if I'm not a citizen, if I'm citizen of the United States, And the US and whatever state that I'm working for, whatever, they milk all of the energy out of me. And I get to a certain position that I'm no longer able to contribute to the society of the Republic of Liberia. And if I want to live in total, nobody will stop me. If I'm working here, I retire, I get my money, I can build my house and live in total, nobody will stop me. But guess what? I am no longer able to contribute to the society. And the ills of the society continue to replicate itself. Why is it that you cannot have this dual citizenship issue resolved so that the young people, the young Liberians that are here in the diaspora, so educated, innovative, they have ideas to move this country forward. But because of these kinds of intakes by Merton Tech and the rest of it, these young people, they stay here, they're working, they're making good money. So the only thing to attract them to Liberia is number one, freedom. Number two, safety. Number three, acceptance. If you have those things, I believe, if all of these things are set in place, young Liberian will gravitate back home. They're not just going drove. They're going to go and test the water and see what are some of the things. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to call name. A cousin of my brother here has a son, young man, working in Wall Street right now. He went home with a few other Liberians. He didn't even tell us as family that he was going home until he got to Liberia. He said, I'm here. And guess what? People were happy. Liberian government were happy. They didn't know that he was from Grand Country. They didn't know that. Then they saw it. They accepted him, believing that he's one of those, because he is a Liberian energetic. But guess what? As soon as they find out that he has brilliant ideas, they started playing their Liberian games. There were 4 of them that went. They already have an investor set aside from Wall Street, ready to invest. This I'm going to say, ready to invest into waste management in Monrovia. But because they want a kickback, and these young people, these young Liberians here in the United States, or even abroad here, don't want to have anything to do with kickback.
But it's nonsense.
These young people came back and he said, Uncle Samson, I'm not going to play that kind of game. Why would I want to tell an investor to invest into something but have to pay first? I'm not going to do that because that's going to ruin my reputation. And this young man, he's back now, working, making money. But guess what? He's not done with Liberia yet because he's a Liberian. And so when he gets all of the time he spent here working, exercising, making good living, but the energy level going down. When he gets to a certain age, he said, I want to go to Liberia. You think people are going to refuse it? No, he's a Liberian. I leave forever. And so that I moved to who will stop me? Is he told you, who's going to stop me? Nobody. Nobody. So here's the issue. Now, with all my engineering skill and what have you, when I got back here just recently, there's a project right now that people, and I'm doing my best for this project not to fail. So I'm working double. I'm going to get paid, but look how much energy I'm putting into it. Whereas Liberian roads are still bad off. I feel bad because I've done the same thing in Liberia, but they will not allow me to do it. They are not willing to help for us to go in and help them. Until I'm very old, I'm no longer able to produce. Then when I go to Liberia, what are they going to say? They're not going to drive me away. But this is a time for them to bring the young Liberians, energetic Liberians, highly educated, to come home and help. But they are not willing to do that. So they'll play these kinds of games. That's okay. Let them. They dual citizenship or not dual citizenship. Well, I'd rather go to Liberia, I'm retired, I'd rather go to Liberia. Who will stop me from going to Total? Anybody fool to stop me? Nobody. So I'm not alone. There are people from Sino County that can go to Liberia right now and help Sino County improve. But they're gonna wait until these young people, young men and women, they will utilize their service here in the United States, work and make good money. But at the same time, the energy level, as they get older, the energy level they spend here could have been spent back home. So this is for me is something that I found very
Let me
Interesting.
bring in Pa George here. To everything, there's a downside aspect, a good and bad. But I'm not sure to what extent this whole thing here, how much has been to review, what is the study, what is the comparison, considering Guinea, Sierra Leone, Ghana, all of these countries that enjoys the dual citizenship to see what is working, what is not working, what is applicable. I don't know whether they have gone extensively to take a review and see whether it is a good side of it and there's a bad side and weigh it for them to have this here. I, I don't understand.
No, Mr. So they can't tell you any bad side. Some all live outside Liberia. I live in Ghana. Most of the homes you see in Ghana are people who outside of Ghana, Ghanaian who outside build motels, hotels. I got a friend. This guy, it was my first time. So this guy took me to a salt mine. This guy was in London. And when he returned to Ghana, this guy got a company that producing salt. It was the first time I went to see how salt being produced. It was a Ghanaian. He was in London. He came back. He wrote a proposal to the World Bank. He got that money. The guy is in Ghana. You go to Ghana. I had not been to Nigeria, but Ghana, all the Africans, all these people you see that build, most of them went out of the country and came back. So even like Ghana, if you listen to the guys, the finance minister, all the guys, and listen, because I follow them. I follow them. Some of the top shows. When they talk about the guy, Minister of Finance, Bank Governor, these are people who studied in America, who went back now contributing to the country. There's nothing to say that, oh, this smoking and they kick around, they don't want to. No, it's because there's fear and hatred, jealousy of the people. I went to Liberia the other day. I went to my village. Now, are you telling me you're going to go to the village and tell the people that this man, he left and he went outside the country, so he cast him up, so he know he cannot be citizen of the country again? You think the people in that village would listen to you? Mr. Toh went the other day. He was sitting, he had a man on his lap. Are you going to ask the people in Toh town that they are someone here because he went outside? He gets some people, he know more citizens here, so want you to say no against it. You think the people of Toh town will agree to it? They will tell you something wrong with you.
So
The men that were born here.
now,
So
let's
this thing here is right in Maserati. Right in Maserati. This is where this thing is going.
Capitol Hill.
No, besides that, Mr. Toh, I had listened to some talk show in Monrovia. They all insinuate this thing here that the people, they don't respect us. They go when they can't, they want to do. It's a few that have gained some form of education and some form of power. They're the one that pandering this thing here that no, dual citizens say no. Because they fear that if they allow this thing to happen, you can say, Mr. Toh can say, look, I'm going to run. But if I don't run, I'm going to support someone in my district that I know that support, that believe my value. I can say that I will make phone call, will make some right to rise for some money to get. All these things they take into account. They said no. It will get people their way. They will kick out all our power because it's when they call a friend is sending $10. I got nobody to call. What are they doing?
Let me ask you here. Let's ask you here. Let's come back here because this election is just, I would say, a few weeks from now, 18 months or whatever it is. It's just within our own proximity now. And this is why we need to redirect these politicians to get them to the critical issue. It is saddening that for us in our country, people don't do maybe, let's say, research or things that really matters to the people, things to vote on, issues. And this is where we need to be having a conversation. This is where the leadership is lacking. Because these people who have a vision to lead the country, they should begin to go inside to see. I haven't heard one of these people one of these days. I went to Sino, I went to the north side, to the southern side, or this place, and this is the actual concerns of these people in that region. And I will try to see how can this be embedded into my platform. They don't. The politicians in Liberia in a visual cycle. If they not go, how they call it, sport complex, I don't even know whether they can reach Ralphie and all those places and things unless maybe campaign. Sit down somewhere, have some sort of press conference, sour, people wear all sort of funny thing behind them. And these people, they are also the facilitators of these bad behaviors of these politicians because they can't tell them, and we can have the conversation of these people, they get away with it. Typical example, and that's what Milton Tiaji, he came from. Watch the ongoing hearings of the Supreme Court nominee right now. See how the conversation is being kept. See how the questions are being asked. See how civil it is. But see how critical on national issue. These are the people. And Darius Dillon, Senator Darren Dillon is correct on that one. They are selective on things to carry home. What are they going to read home? Or are you going to stop to Banga and find one next hotel and sleep and camp? They don't have meetings with their people.
No.
They don't sit with their people. They don't have offices. Like in my own state here, I can send an email here to Jack Reed, David Cicilline, congressman, somebody here in Rhode Island here. They will tell me XYZ time, congressman will be here. XYZ time, Senator Jack Reed will be here. And people will talk to you. It is not like that. So the issue of this good governance, we want things to change. This is another branch of government. If all of these branches of government that make up the institutions of the government we have today, if one is a handicap, believe me, it put a weight on the other one. The other one will be a handicap to be paralyzed, as it's the same as it is. But what can we do now for us in the media industry to change this narrative? And this is where I disagree with this liberal here. Lead the people. He said, "I got trouble in the country. Lead the people. When we leave them alone, this is what they want. This is the kind of political ploy that these politicians are always looking for. We will do things and they will get tired. And when it gets tired, then we have our boogie, we have our party. We can't leave these people. Liberia is not for them. Liberia is for all of us. All we are asking for to understand is a sovereign nation. And they must understand their responsibility. So for us in the media, and this is where sometimes I can get pissed. People who talk for government, people too who talk for the opposition, they don't even know what the very people they support, they don't even know what they represent. You don't see them tell them about their, let me give you a little bit break here. You don't see them even talk about their people, the team or these individuals they support. They don't tell you about their agenda, what they really represent. They come and make power with their viewers. They make power with their followers because somebody write a little comment and disagree with their people they call political leader. I don't know when this other thing came about. That's where get all this problem. They make power with them. So we create a drama. How can we have? Where is the change? What sort of change do we really want? Or we just calling the name change? What is the definition of change actually? Do we know or do they know what change is? What it comes with? The consequences of change? Or we just call the name on the surface?
Mr. So, like I think when I got back, or even when I was in Liberia, I made a live video. And one of the things that I stated was that, first thing, I'm very grateful to Liberia government and the Liberian people for keeping the peace. That's about the only good thing they've done so far, keeping the peace. There's a young somebody just wrote some stuff here that I was just reading. And that just trickled me back to where I was when I was in Liberia.
No, let's put it up. We don't have people here. I don't see anything like an insult. And let me. Is that comment you're talking about, Mr.
Yes,
Beautiful?
yes.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
God, why these Liberians sit in the diaspora and pretend they are the only ones that have the solution to the many problems Liberia has. They often do not discuss any positive things that are happening in the country. For nothing talk is not going to help develop Liberia. Please balance your conversation. Why are some bad things or challenges in Liberia? There are also many good things going on here. So, what is the point of argument? I
No,
want
but
to have to
Mr.
pass it to the
Mr.
floor.
So, I'm glad you brought that up, but this person point here is laughable, to be honest with you. First thing, let them go ahead. Let them show us the face of Liberia, the Ralphie Highway. Let's see how good that is coming on. Second, let's go with the traffic on EW Junction. Third, let's go with the traffic on how do you call it, the SKD Boulevard Junction. Then we will know.
Let's go. No, let me help you. Let's go with the trash in Morovia.
Yes, let's talk
Let's
about
go
the
with the
trash.
electricity.
So,
Let's
so,
go with the
so
electricity.
this
Let's
person
go with the
comment is
water.
laughable. But let me make this point as well. Now, Mr. So, when I was in Liberia, I'm an engineer, as you know. I have the opportunity to attend the Liberian Engineering Society convention in Banga. And I would say it because I was on here to say the Liberian engineers back home were not quietly involved. They most likely didn't know what they were doing, what have you. But I was there for 2 days, and I listened to these young people having some serious discussion on what they needed to do in that country as engineers. I believe strongly that they understood their position as engineer. The likelihood of improving lives in Liberia depends on them. They know that, and they're quite aware of it. However, it is the policy maker that are really messing this country up. They come up with these policies and what have you, monetary policy, whatever policy they come up with, that is not benefiting our people. And so, if you're going to have people that are in the law-making business, you go to Milton Churchy office right now and see whether he has any kinds of technical person advising him as part of his office staff. I believe they will find none. So, if you don't have anybody with a technical knowledge on how things are supposed to be done to improve the life of our people, where will you go? Nowhere. And this person talking about we sit here and run our mouth, that's fine. We're running our mouth, and I think because running our mouth brought him from the darkness to come and talk to us. We appreciate that. And we will continue to talk about these things. Mr. So, look, for me, Liberia, better days ahead of us. This country is the best. We just have bad people managing the affair of the country. I'm not just talking about this government, any past government. Since 19 when will we even have a decent role in the country? When? When will we have the connection, truly connection from one city in Liberia to another? You have Manga Ganta Highway. That highway, the sinker Tommy Bolan died on 1970 something. It's still there. It has not been improved. So what is it you're talking about? I went to when I was, and I will bring these things up as an engineer. They have it's laughable. They built this highway between Banga and Ganta. Okay, so they have what they call dike. And dike, and I'll just give you a little example here. This is the road, as the road curve in a bend out like that. So you put a dike on the side to control the water that comes off of the slope of the slope from the street to come into the dike, control the water and go into whatever they have to go into. You know what it made out of dike that was accepted? Concrete, little tin stuff. It's all broken apart right now. And that road is out. That road is not even 20 years yet. These are some of the things that I'm talking about. So if you have young Liberians, young engineers that are trained here, will point these things out to our brothers and sisters. Many of our brothers and sisters in Liberia that are engineers, and many of them stay away from roadways and what have you. They go into structure, vertical structure. That's fine. I'm not condemning that. But what is the road? You put all these buildings down. And one of the things that I will also say, I'm not condemning, but many of these people in Liberia, they build these beautiful, beautiful buildings. But go see the road that take you from the main street to the place where they live. It's terrible. Terrible. And you call yourself living? No, you're not. You're just surviving. And this is what we keep saying. Bring these, open it up. Let these young Liberians come in. They have the energy right now to help you move this country forward. Let them come in. They're not all here like me. These people are ready to move and work. Let them come in. If you don't do that, the sad thing is they stay here, they make money. They come to Liberia, they help you. So what one you want? They come to, you got the kind of money to pay them what they're making right now in the United States or in the diaspora. And they are willing to come home. But who want to go and have a fight with a keke driver or a motorbike driver every day of his life? This is not living. That's suffering. So, Mr. So, I just want to say to you that let's continue to talk about these things. And eventually I will put my video together and carry on with my own show when it comes to road connectivity. And I really appreciate this government when it comes to that. Because I believe, even though the process started under the past government, but this government is not blocking any of the past government initiatives, including in terms of road connectivities in Liberia. If anything, they're doing their best to improve on it. So that's something that we all welcome. And I don't mind leaving from here to sacrifice for my waste my vacation time. And when I went home the other day, it cost me almost $12,000.
So,
One month I stayed over there, cost me almost $12,000. So that's not the amount of money that I spent. If you count the amount of money that I spent and the $12,000, you're talking almost $20,000 just for 1 month in Liberia. For what? Because it's my home, and I'm not alone.
So,
Many of us will do that.
All right. Before Pa George come in, Mr. Gifford, always be with us. We are not a type that buy more of our own countries. We are trying to checkmate these politicians, people who say they can do it, or who pretend to say they can do it. Our job is to point it out. When it is done the right way, we will say it. The information that we have, we'll put it there. We are not judgmental. We are talking on critical issues. So stay with us. Nobody gonna slash you for that. You have the right to your views, your opinions. It's accepted, and that's what we want to do. But before I break in part George, some of the things we are talking about, this is what we are talking about.
This is State Village, one of the places that used to be really bad. It's still bad. Yeah, in area. And they should go little by little. Yeah. So this is State Village. Managed to go.
That's just what a week plus, week 2, I was there. I'm worried. I am concerned. Not because it is the route leading to my county. There are more than 5 counties behind there, the southeastern side. Think about a pregnant child, a woman that is in need of serious medical help or tries to get to a nearby village. And this has nothing to do with George. We are like just what Mr. Toll said. This has been an old syndrome. And this is why I can be pissed when I hear J.J. Robert birthday, Tottenham open door policy. He closes the door. There was a closed door policy. He hangs out with Ofe Boigny. Go see Cote d'Ivoire today. Atman Secretary of Guinea. Go see those places. For their own, There was smoke were passing over their heads, smoking cigar. They put them in the hammock, carrying them all around. They were the big boys. These are the things that we are frowning on. It's a disgrace. That alone, that role you see there, where you have 4, 5, 6 counties, anything can happen between you and Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, and whatever it is. It's a national security concern. The government will now have the ability to reach her citizens when they are in desperation need of help. Security personnel, law enforcers, they will not be able to get there when there's a violence outbreak, for example, because rules are bad. These are things that we are talking. And we are saying this to remind those that are there, and even those who wants to be, because they will say it today, I will do this, I will do this, but they can't tell us as to how it will be done. And we don't want people to be taken away on that. Pa George.
Yeah, let me say this.
So I don't even know who really want to be, who do we have as a challenger? All of these people, they all have credibility issues. They're all about themselves.
Let me say this. I will go back to where you started from. The ball, going into the counties. And I know my good old friend will get that with me.
Let me put a number all quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Since the elections, Joseph Boakai.
Oh, you are about to spoil the conversation now. You are about to derail this conversation.
The only place Joseph Boakai went, Lufa County. He hasn't gone any other power library, with the exception of Monserrato. That's the man who want to lead Liberia. How do you think you will know the people problem in Maryland County, in Sano? Mr. Cummings have visited almost all. The last time I think he went here in Riverside. He went to Kidmore. Yeah, last, when he came on that tour from Maryland to Grand Gideon. 7 years now, 6 years ago in person, we have made one visit to all the counties. And all the promises they made, they cannot tell you one of those projects going on now. Government. The electricity, the gentleman we talk about, we can't talk about good thing. That land are running from Ivory Coast today. It passes through Liberia. People are receiving current in Maryland, Grand Gideon, and Nimba from Ivory Coast. Today, the project has completed in Liberia. The land going to Sierra Leone. Liberia cannot get current because the government owed the Ivorian government. So they cannot utilize that line. There's current passing through Liberia going to Ivory Coast. I think the last time one of the senators said they have to buy a generator now because Liberia is not utilizing that current. The solar current is dropping, so they have to buy a generator now to boost the current to Sierra Leone. When the government knew that the project was going to be completed by last year, why did they even put pool? Why they had not paid the Ivorian government? But people come out to say when you say, oh, nothing good. What is the good thing that happened in Liberia that we don't talk about?
Yeah, there are some good things there.
That's what I'm saying. What is the good thing that we don't talk about? You talk about roads. They try to let roads. Fine, I give it to them. They try to let roads, yes. But water, Morovia, you hardly get pipe-borne water. Government being power almost going to 6 years. The trash is in Morovia.
Okay.
So what is it that
hold on 1 second.
This government is doing that positively that we cannot talk about? Corruption. The crime rate is on the rise. Rape is on the rise. What is it the government doing positively that we don't talk about? So, brother, I want not saying your position. If you think there's something that this government is doing and someone else come here and don't talk about it, then just come on the platform and let's have a discussion.
Yeah, I mean, we open up here.
It's
I mean,
open.
I can
Come
say I
out.
was there.
Yes, come out and say,
Okay,
look,
let me bring
these
in
are the
Kamo here
possible things the
quickly.
government doing.
The line is open already.
Yes,
682
the government pay wire school
422.
fee for government school students.
I'll
But now
listen.
they say no, they can't pay for those that go to primary school. But I know some people selling market and sending their children to primary school because why the government school they figure that it's not adequately prepared for the children to go to.
So, all right, Pa George, let me go to this number here quickly.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Call out. Kamo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening to everybody.
Mhm.
Okay, so I like your shirt tonight on the show. Is that
Who's that? Who share you like?
I said I like Pateau's shirt. I'm asking if that's propose shirt because he was saying more.
Mr. Tom, answer. Oh.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I'm following the conversation. I'm really, really impressed with the discussion tonight. And you touched on a series of things. I would just like to chime in on what happened today on Spoon Network with the president of the two opposition parties, that is Liberty Parties and Unity Party chairmen. That both of them conversation was so childish, embarrassing, and disgraceful for our political institution in Liberia. I mean, these two individuals represent major political parties in the country. When they come on shows like Spoon Show, which has thousands of people viewing them, we expect them to lay out their goals, their vision for the country in a way that we will understand the direction they want to take the country to.
Right.
But today's conversation was so disheartening and hypocritical. In fact, they went into personal issues with one another. You know, I don't know how they sleep at night. You know, when they leave from these shows, how they really sleep. And it's saddening that you will find people who have criminal record leading political institutions. And I would say directly to the Liberty Party chairman Musa Bility. I don't know where or how the Liberty Party people were thinking when they elected him as chairman for the party. This is a man who have a character issue, but yet they elected him. And then some of them want us to think or take them serious. I don't think we're going to take them serious. So I saw that as a disservice to the people of Liberia. And another thing you're talking about, Mr. So, some of us that follow this show, we don't follow this show because we have level of privilege to call in and you recognize us. We follow because the issue you bring on the table, you discuss the issue without favor or fear, and you balance the conversation. And unlike the other shows, they discuss legal issues without bringing legal minded people to discuss the issue. So I find it very hard to believe on their part. But for you people on this show, I want you people to continue to discuss the issue. And you went morose. I think one of the things you said, one of the show the last time you said you did some interview with some people, but you don't want to bring them up. You don't want to make it personal about them, probably because of their own connection in the country. But I really want to hear from you exactly how the people felt, when you're asking them questions about the country, how they see the country, the direction of the country, and whether they are optimistic about the future of Liberia and stuff like that.
Let me just make it crystal clear. What I said was that I just had I was not really in the mood of taking the cameras. It was just a mere conversation to get a sense. In fact, I did reach out, if not all of the political actors, and I wanted to do it fairly. I met some. I didn't meet some because they have their own protocol. And I was like, okay, since Mr. A doesn't want to talk and Mr. B, I wanted to give you a fair shot. But I can tell you that will happen again pretty soon. This time around, whoever agrees to sit before our camera will do it. Those who don't want to, it's up to them. As usual, we reach out to people, but it's within their own determination, purview to say, okay, we're on and we don't come. And so it is why it is. People choose where to go, but we'll always get people. We are not that judgmental. We are not judgmental, even, and that's why we tend not to incite our own personal feelings opinion into this sort of national conversation because it's going to kill the substance of the conversations. We as a facilitator, that's not our job. We put it out there and we give it a fair share. Go ahead.
Okay, and then and another thing you were talking about that caught my attention is the road network. Mr. So and George and Mr. To, you all agree with me that we have, uh, let's say, almost maybe 60% of our legislators, both in the Senate and in the House, it comes from the Southeast. And you would think that those that come from the Southeast will prioritize the road network in that particular part of Liberia. I don't know how the people in that particular area vote people in offices without even making that particular area a priority for them. Are you kidding me? For any days, George Weah, the road cannot be completed. Every time it's about we're working on it. We're going to engage our partner. We are looking at it. We are involved into it. Those kind of statement then continue to put our people back into the 1800s. In the 21st century, the country is now connected, and we have our legislator taking 30,000 as constituent visit or whatever term they use on that. So this coming 2023 election, if the people in that particular area will vote these people back in office, then Mr. So and the rest of the team here tonight, I think we will blame the people in the particular county that voted in the office, because I can be in that county looking at the road condition and continue to put the same person there without even making any improvement on it. It's time that the people in the particular area get up and demand that the road should be the priority. Whoever will be elected should make that as a paramount objective during their campaign time to put them in office. It's sad that we continue to see the people complaining the road never bad, and they still voting these people into offices. So my challenge to them is that those that listen to me right now in the particular part of Liberia, it is your time. Challenge whoever that is coming to you talking about being elected to represent you guys. They should make that as a priority. If they can't do that, they should leave. And lastly, on the dual citizenship, I won't talk much on it because I always say this. My stepfather is American, my real father is Liberia. Your real father never took care of you good, and stepfather doing good thing for you. You all respect your stepfather, and that's how I am taking it right now. I'm pushing towards my U.S. citizenship. If Liberian people don't invite the law to recognize dual citizenship, well, we'll be here contributing to the economy of America and plan for our retirement and go there. But to say nobody can stop me from going to my village and do my development there. They'll get wasted one time. And before I grab the line, Mr. So you and myself had a conversation in Houston. I told you that the network here, we the listener, follower, we are responsible in one way or the other to make the platform where it's supposed to be. That is our contribution. You know the conversation you and myself will have. And I've been checking on the website. I've not seen any other development there. I know you're working on it, but I want for you to think about it. And this year should be something that we should work towards that, because we need to support our platform that will bring us news that will be balanced. We don't want to be sponsored any platform that will give us half-baked information because probably they are handsome or they are beautiful or they can talk loud and stuff like that. We need places that we can put our mouth and we can put our money behind it. So it's a challenge to the whole team tonight. You know what we discussed about.
Right.
We're still waiting on you. You're still listening. Whatever
Tell your Libra.
Whatever we can revamp that, I'll be here and I'll be number one on the team to support it. It's time that you guys really take that and you're looking to it seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so.
Sorry, I didn't know you lost your you lost Lpr-Tv in Liberia. I got to know it lately.
Yeah. It's still adding up now. Say we just don't even want to talk that my old mom passed away and the Liberal were there with me, Pat George. Everybody supported. I mean, it was just all of you. Everybody supported it, but
we're going to play our own trip to go to Liberia.
That's okay. Yeah.
We'll play our own trip to go to Liberia.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, he's one of our regular followers and many
loyal listeners.
Yeah, committed to prime time. They are on with one of the top 5, and that's exactly what we are talking behind the scene. This guy, he has been calling consistently, been telling us things to do, and that's exactly what we want to do, because we have to fight for it. And I told the guys, hey, if we need help, you want married guy, you don't book your hall, you don't get cameraman. You say you want to get married. How the hell you want to get married? I'm not going to buy a gun. So. And I say, LPR, if we are to take the next level, we have to take the lead and people will follow. You heard one of the speakers. But we are working on that. It's a gradual process, and we are gradually getting there. Yeah, is that liberal? Liberal, where you taking note?
So,
Yeah.
first of all, I want to say to this is a propo shirt. I got plenty of them, but that doesn't mean I'm an uncovered edition, please.
He
I'm
didn't
the
say that.
liberal.
That's the John IE.
Yeah, other people say that I'm
Eloy,
joining
Eloy, in the photo now. The way I see
Yeah,
you,
No,
he's
I'm not in the
clear.
photo yet. They will not let me in.
our man
I
used
can
to
wear all the
welcome to
propo I
Nigeria.
want. They will not let me in.
Why?
Well, because on a very serious note.
So let's get back to basically you heard our man saying here. Now, what can we do? And I say here we need to compare, we need to change the narrative, especially with the major political actors. They got to tell us. They need to tell us we shouldn't fall into their bookie trap. Let's pick up, let's hear from our people. We shouldn't fall into these people bookie trap by just throwing some sort of a conversation on us. Okay, 602 Namata A5A9. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
How you doing, Mr. Soul?
Good.
I want to take this time to tell you thanks for the program, Mr. Soul, our problem is bigger than our politicians.
Hmm.
Yeah, our problem is bigger than the politicians.
Tell me a bit. Tell me a little bit.
Can you have the guy to speak up a little bit louder?
We don't love each other. That's one. We lie a lot. We didn't respect each other.
Okay.
And your caller just said something. If you listen clearly, that the rules now in the southeastern, and it's not only the southeastern, all over Black Europe, we don't have good rules. We have representatives, we have senators that make laws. They're taking 30,000. Nobody complaining. But the fact is, tomorrow, our people will put them back. The Labrador will put them back. After election, they will come back to cry. So how can we change the country if the same people that voting they put back into office every time?
So, what are we? Let me stop you here. Let me stop you a little bit. What are we not doing for which this not even only in the diaspora back home, or what are we not doing that we're seeing this thing consistently? History kept repeating itself. Is that our fault?
Yeah, it's the Labrador fault. It's our fault. I look at it like this. No matter how the us will help you, if you can take care of your own problem, it will never be solved. Every man or every woman that go to office in Liberia, they tell the people, I will do this, I will do that. But when they get there, they follow the other people what they're doing. So they don't have that heart to say, yeah, they go with the intention to do good. But at the same time, they cannot sit back to see somebody taking 20, 30,000 and say, oh, I'll let it go. No. I remember a story, I don't know if you guys watch it. Senator Dillon, when he first got in power, Sir Joseph told him, but man, all the talking, you soon change. and they don't have joined it.
Does it change?
No, they don't change. They don't talk 30,000.
When you get justification, and people said there was a legitimate reason. These are some of the things that we are talking.
And second, and lastly, before I leave the line, our politics is it's all about tribalism. That's what sucks for us. Because I'm a kissing man, I ain't Lofa. I don't care what I do to the people. The Lofa people put together and say, we'll carry our song. They're not going to look at what I did or what I never did. But because I kissed him, man, they will vote me in. They don't care about what happened over the country. This is how our country they're running on the tribalism way.
Okay, before I let you go, 2023 is next door. You as a Liberian, have you decided which way you want to go? Do you care to tell us and why?
Oh, I mean, I'm an ANC man first thing.
ANC.
Yeah, I'm an ANC man.
Why ANC? Why ANC?
Well, I mean, if we look at what happened So looking at the UP party that failed off big, that we're suffering today, the CDC can't follow, the ANC have no lead. So I believe that if we try anybody, we should try the new person on the block.
But what is the message?
Experimental. We have how many times we are trying people? Is there an experiment that we're going to be having in this country? We tried it one.
Mr. Soul, for example, right? Look at it down. Look at how much we spent, and today we are crying on electricity.
Okay.
We can't blame the Georgia government for that.
No, that's right.
We're crying today on electricity after spending $200 million.
So before I let you go,
there?
you see ANC as the alternative to Liberia right now.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's your view and opinion. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see here. 346 number 3746. Carter, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Good evening to your crew. And I'm Kesoli. I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, Kezo, what's up?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, go ahead. Make your point. Yeah, we are not nationalistic, but tribalistic. Aren't you correct? That's who we are.
Thank you very much for the show tonight. I have a couple of issues I really want to talk about. Let me first of all go to, just address a little bit of what is this call we just legalized yesterday.
Yeah, just put all in one basket quickly.
Yeah, we do not expect politicians. I, for one, I don't know about other people. I do not expect any politician to be 100%. Because if you're 100%, I will not vote for you. Because it means that you will laugh me at the Senator Abraham Dallas Dillon is not a saint. He's not a god, and I don't expect him to be one. For contemporary politics in Liberia, and to grade anybody currently in the government, in the entire government, especially the legislature, Senator Dillon comes number one and with a very high mark, way higher than any other person, than any other representative or senator that I've seen so far. I follow the Senate on a daily basis. I follow the Senate debate on a daily basis. I'm not a member of the Liberty Party. I don't know Senator Dillon from anywhere. I have never met this brother before. But with the view that this brother brings to the floor, if we can have 10 or 15 senators and that or lawmakers in Liberia can be a change country. Senator Dillon not only preach for things that affect only Montewale County alone. He preached on things that affect the entire country, whether it's from Montewale County, whether it's affecting Montewale County or not. He talks about issues that affect the entire country, not just Montewale County. Senator Dillon is a lawmaker who is an example of lawmaking. And I hope and pray that come 2023, we can have 10 to 15 Senator Dallas Dillon.
Okay.
He has made some mistakes, granted. And I'm sure he will make some mistakes in the future. But his goodness far supersedes the mistake he's ever made. Far, very, very far. And because of that, I can give him credit. And I hope we all can help encourage this brother.
That Lone Star team, man, you did well.
Whenever he made mistakes, we step on him and tell him the truth, and that he will pick up from there. He's not living down in his mistakes.
Okay.
He's improving every day. And if he's following the Senate, following that deliberation on a daily basis, you will know that Senator Dallas Dillon right now is the best senator in the entire part of Nigeria.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Liberal.
Yes.
What's your own few reaction? What's your reaction to these few colors?
Well, I'm very happy to have colors of such intellect to join us here tonight and have a fruitful discussion, even whether they disagree with us or not. But you can truly tell just by listening to them that they are engaged and they themselves want to see their own country move forward positively. And so, like I've always stated, and I will continue to say, and that is this platform, as far as I'm concerned, is an intellectual platform. The way we lead will have our followers or listeners to contribute the way we want them to. For example, we've been out here now going to almost 2 hours, but yet still we have not used any kinds of vocal language yet tonight. We've been having some disagreement on policy issues. We don't agree on many things, but we're respectful in our disagreement. And so when the audience comes on with this kinds of stage that is set, they, even if they are of a violent nature, they will not be able to display that here because the platform does not lend them to that. And so I just want to say it again. Those of us that are in these kinds of business of having platform from one thing to another, we will continue to provide the opportunity for our brothers and sisters to express themselves freely. However, we ourselves must be respectful to the audience, must be mindful that the fact the audience are here, they have things to do. But the fact that they are here, they respect us, and we must respect them in return. So, Mr. So, I think I don't have much to say in terms of the audience participation. I wish we will have more audience participate in these kinds of forums where they will be allowed to express themselves freely. And I think you have done that, and that's a kudo to you as well. However, I just want to say to you in the center right, I'm a liberal, and my views, I think, as you can see tonight, many of the colors are coming my way. They're not going with your conservative ideas. They're not coming to the central right idea. So I just want to say thanks to the colors that are calling tonight. I think you guys recognize that the liberal view is the view of the future. We cannot have a conservative view trying to lead the future. We're going nowhere. So, Mr. George and Mr. So, your view will have to be somehow trying to come out, pivot. Let's put it that way. You two have to pivot to come my way, and then you will be able to enjoy the contribution from the audience because I truly understand it. I doubt it if you two understand the contribution, the immense importance of their contribution here tonight, because you two view the view from both of you is too skewed to the right, and these people are not about to contribute to your right conservative view here tonight. I just want to point that out as an observation. The Kyako your talk to your
No,
it's all.
I'm waiting. If you end,
No, then you both of you know very well that the liberal is saying something that is of an interest, and so you're lack of words.
No.
You can express yourself freely.
I did not want to interrupt you. Oh, you say,
you
Mr.
don't want to
So-
interrupt tonight. Wow,
No.
what a change.
No, I didn't want to interrupt you or to say Mr. So is not giving more time. So that's why we were waiting so you can learn. But let me say this. Look, we appreciate all the callers. And they don't have to agree with us on everything I will say here, and which, of course, we respect their rights to disagree with us and agree with us. And that's why the conversation should center around. We don't want everybody to come and say, oh, you saying the right thing. Oh, yeah, no. They should criticize, but just do it with respect. But I want to say something about this. The one of the callers mentioned the electricity business, talk about money. 257 million that were pumped into that dam. It was built. I think the increase, I think out was 61, the increase to 80 watts. The dam was completed. It's not completed. The question is why we don't have electricity in Monrovia. This government been in power 5 years now. Where are the meters? Where are the poles? The turbine, the last time they were saying one of the turbines is down. They have not fixed that. All these problems. Government is continuing it. Where the other people start, where you pick up from. This is not happening in our country. most of the things are stored, the basic needs of the people. And because of these things are not moving.
Mr. George,
Huh?
where is the body, where is the institutions that is responsible to checkmate, to do that fact check, to hold people accountable? Where are they? Why are we leaving them out of the conversation?
Mr. So, yet the funniest thing the last time I listened to, and sometimes when you listen to a person, like you try to get angry with yourself and say, I don't want, but again, the business when you just gotta hold your patient on listening. The LEC, the board chairman, they all were called by the legislature. The people are telling you, I don't know about this 1 year. And here's the thing, and one of the things they said, the Norwegian government, when it came to Liberia, they said that they could not deal with the government because of one, corruption. So they hired a firm to do some work in Liberia. The money they put in there, at the end of that contract, $6 million that could not be accounted for. What, according to the board, Monica Ting, he's the chairman of LEC, to be exact, he said that the people are willing to come back to Liberia, to work with Liberia, and they have $20 million to be put into the economy, but into the electricity sector. But the $6 million that were missing when they hired their own contractors, not dealing with the government because the government corrupt. Since that $6 million, the contractor could not account for it. The government will have to pay that $6 million before they can come in with it. So if you do a math of $14 million will be coming in with again. And the Liberian government has accepted to pay the $6 million to the Norwegian government before they can come in. So if you do the math, that $14 million will be pumping in again into Liberia. Can you imagine that? How do you negotiate kind of contracts? You are not. They said don't be part of it because you corrupt. They brought in a firm.
So you didn't even. You still didn't answer my question. What I was going on
but
here.
No, they kind of. What I'm trying to tell you now, these are the people, the Senate, the oversight responsibility. They call the managing director, the board of LEC to explain to the Senate. But these are some of the things they're telling the Senate that we can't get the kind of people group in again because a so contract was signed.
Okay.
Why would you suggest that you have to look at contracts when you are not part of it and you're being made to pay? Now, they say at least you should go and come back with further explanation. That is the government, the oversight now, the Senate now, after all this thing here. The problem here, everybody got interest in this corporation. Every government official, either the executive, the legislature, they got partner in these places. When they call them, they come and talk, then they go behind close to my man. They look for something, we'll forget about that one, we'll move on. This is what's happening. Today, I saw Britain, the finance minister, deputy minister was there again, telling the Senate about the budget, debt. Some information they call, they say it was not available, but they have to go back again. These are the problems that will continue to hammer the country because those who have responsibility oversight, when they try, some of them, when they try, they will get pushed back from somewhere.
Okay, so we're going to be wrapping up here, but let's have a quick take-home conversation here. With all of these apprehension, this one will not do this not do this. As far as we are concerned, for now, we know that it's in the public domain of people who are contesting. You have the incumbent, the president, Dr. Weah, you have Alice Cummings, you have Joseph Boyka. If we were to put these three in a basket this evening, and say election is taking place tomorrow, knowing what we know, knowing what we seeing unfolding right now, can anybody make an educated guess that where this thing gonna be landing? If these three people, so far, we know. Who knows? We still have room of time. No, you have Cassette and all of these people, but in every race, you have the big three, big four, and it's narrowed down to such. So if we were to narrow it down to President George Weah of the ruling party, CDC, Alice Cummings of the ANC, Joseph Boyka of the Unity Party, where will we be landing?
Well, Mr. So, let me just go strictly. I think this is, you call it basket, I call it basket of deplorable. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was leaving out the other adjective I knew you were going to add there.
I'm just kidding. Look,
Yeah, asking this question because we're not people. Go ahead.
If Alice Cummings, honorable Alice Cummings and Ambassador Dr. Bakai do not join together,
Will you stop?
do not join together.
What's happening?
Why you want them to join together?
Because this is the only way Dr. Weah is going to be defeated. And I'll be ridiculous now because we've been having a beautiful show and we're getting ready to close it. So why not do the usual thing? What, you can't hear me? Mr. George, can you hear me?
You're audible, loud, you're good.
Mr. George, you got to do something on your phone. The liberals talking. So let me be ridiculous here so that the audience will know that we are human beings like any other person. We're not all coming here and be kumbaya. There ain't no kumbaya here tonight. Let me be ridiculous. If Honorable Cummings and Ambassador Dr. Joseph Barker will not come together, we must as well pack our bag and crawl back to Dr. Weah to take us for another 6 years. Because without any collaboration, Honorable Cummings cannot win the election by himself. Dr. Weah, Ambassador Dr. Barker cannot win the election by himself either. The only thing that I see, if this collaboration truly fails, one other option, according to me, and I'm entitled to my view, one other option that Ambassador Dr. Barker has to win this election is to go with Honorable Gonglo, former president of the Bar Association of the Republic of Liberia. Any other person Honorable Dr. Ambassador Barker picks, that would be doomed. You want to make sure, if you want to dislodge Dr. Weah, you can't come into this here trying to take Dr. Weah out of this position because of setting hatred. There's no hatred. You're going to have to come into this position with a policy difference that you can expel, you can truly explain to the Liberian people. What is it that you're going to do that Dr. Weah is not doing now?
Is it happening now?
No.
Is another got a policy that you can
none of them. But here's the thing here with this nonsense, and I say nonsense because it doesn't make no sense. Debacle of this CPP having this issue. They have wasted so much time that in order for, and the sad thing is this, between Honorable Cummings and Dr. Bakai, the folks that are helping these people, the inner circle, they are some of the brilliant minds among the young Liberians. And they have the ability to put together certain policy.
So then what's the definitions of brilliant? If they have those sort of mind and it is not happening, then what makes them brilliant?
You can be brilliant and you come from Town. That's the two different things. I can't help you if you come from Town and brilliant. In other words, you are brilliant, but intellect, but people, I don't want to go there. Let me just leave it as that. They are brilliant, but they are unable to utilize the brilliance that they have in them to actually let that come together. Instead, They decided to put that brilliant mind aside and want to go personal against each other. With you leaving the Liberian people on the side, Mr. So, this is so sad. So sad. During the 2020 senatorial election, Liberia, including many sedition, showcased themselves how smart the Liberian how smart the Liberian voters are. Okay.
Okay, let's do it quickly before we can go.
Yeah. Just give me. Don't try to rush me out. When you two were talking, I didn't say anything.
Where you coming from with
now
that talk again?
Okay, now you guys getting ready now to start your kabugu dancing with me. You can't bamboozle me into accepting whatever you read or dish out. So please give me the opportunity. As I was saying before you interrupted me. Now, the point here is this. These young people that are supporting this group, if they were given the opportunity, they would have been able to succeed. The sad thing, as I was saying, Mr. So, is this. During the 2020 senatorial election, sedition, Liberians, voters, young people demonstrated to the entire world to say Dr. Weah and CDC were now on the right path. And if they don't pivot, they don't change, they were going to be punished 2023. And these so-called politicians, these inept politicians, decided to ride the Liberian people generosity, their voter generosity, and they decided they put something together.
Who are those politicians?
Honorable Cummings, Dr. Ambassador Weah, and the rest of them.
What?
I'm not pulling punches here tonight. I will be seen because I'm hurt. This was an opportunity for many, many young Liberians.
Your list is incomplete.
Please. It's my list. You can't tell me what I have on my list. You see, this is what you conservative would do. The liberal make a list, then you say my list is incomplete. How do you know my list is incomplete? So please spare me your 2x4 analysis of my list, please. So the young people, on a very serious note, everyone is kind of upset with Kumi and Honorable Ambassador Dr. Bakai, because this was the time to continue to press and even have Dr. Weah to pivot, to even have some sort of a go around, because he too wants to keep power. But with this kind of debacle that is happening, there is no pressure from the opposition to have Dr. Weah to even think about evolving, to say, oh, maybe there's something I'm doing wrong, I better change. Nothing. Where is the pressure? And so, Mr. So, just to answer your question very briefly, that is, if these two people are unable to collaborate, then you see me, I start wearing propo. I come in beg CDC to join them. I say so. If these people cannot come together,
okay, let me go to the caller quick before we go.
Single-handedly, Honorable Cummings cannot win single-handedly. Then Samson Tor will now start wearing propo from now to another 6 years.
When we come back, you will be eating crow very shortly. Let me go to this caller here. That's the last call of the net. Terry, are you there?
No, it's Elvis. It's not Terry.
Oh, okay. Who's there? Go ahead. What's your name?
Elvis.
Hey, Elvis. What's up?
Thank you so much. Welcome back again, guys. Mr. To, I've given you big hand claps tonight. You're very on point.
Oh,
you know, Mr. Cummings and Mr. Bongo is my ticket. All of it. The biggest mistake he made was not cultivating a relationship with Mr. Bongo earlier. That's the kind of person with integrity and character that you want on your side. Plus, he has the geopolitical backing of Nima country. Those are two of the biggest things, assets that he can carry into this election. For Cummings to be Mr. Cummings, he's surrounding himself with unscrupulous people. Where can Billete carry him? No offense, you know, Billete has some sway in Nima country, but it's a very small portion of the population. So Mr. Comey should be cultivating a relationship with Mr. Bongo, and I think the two of them together before he got himself in this.
Why not with
Well,
Boyka, Elvis?
Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
Why not Boyka? Why you want Gongo?
Mr. Shaw, I will say this. I'm a young guy. I just want to check in. Yes, Mr. Boyka is just too old. He's just too old. I mean, forget about age. People say, "Oh, ages." We the young people, we want to see somebody vibrant with the intellectual capacity. Mr. Boyka is a smart man, but the agility of his mind is questioned. We need somebody with that fortitude and the age on the side that can really work for the Nigerian people. And I think those two men together will be a 18. And I'm so disappointed in Cummings, especially. He had Ty Wumble, who could have been his conduit to forge a relationship with Mr. Bongo, and he blew that. So for me, I really see it. We are taking a second term.
But you have people that are liberal progressive. Something told here is blowing the trumpet. He's not all for the new generation. He's not for your generation. Yeah, you're telling him he wearing nice suit, but he's on the other side stabbing you on the back. You have something told here every night on this network here, pushing the soundbite of Ambassador Joseph Boycott. How can you surprise override this kind of man voice?
No, what I'm saying to Mr. Joe, they try why giving you the BA
Is he
card
understanding to the reality, today's
that
reality,
Cummings
or he
and
thinks
Bongo
that we're in the
came from? Because I
18th
think most
century?
intelligent people will see that's a good winning teacher. Mr. Boyka, he's a smart man, he's a statesman, he's an elder, but really age is not on his side. And my biggest concern when it comes to Mr. Boyka is the piranhas, the leopards that's waiting to pounce once he gets into the presidency. They're just waiting on beyond that old man.
All right.
And I can't trust it. That's my biggest fear with him as well. Thank you again, Mr. So enjoy the show tonight.
Okay. Pa George, before you come in, I don't think that's the end now. We're going to be going here very shortly. Mr. To,
Yes.
do you have a long memory, or is your memory stopped to where your shadow stopped? Because when this whole thing started, as we start saying here, and you're one of those, what they're doing, they're just doing it among themselves. We will fix it. It will do this. It's none of your business. It's still not my business.
Mr. So, you know me. I'm somebody. My ain't feeling you more. You ain't feeling my more. They feeling got shin fe. I eat crow. It was at this time I will admit that I perhaps jumped the gun. I will admit that perhaps politically I was not quite up to
So
task.
I was on the right side of history when I said here.
Yeah. I give it to you. I give it to you in the center, right? Yeah. I give you guys that. Then let's move on. Let us don't try to rubbing and what have you. It's not over yet, by the way. It's not over yet, by the way. So hopefully, this young man that spoke. Let me address this young man, please, if you don't mind. And I respect his view. I respect your view, but let me just point out something very quickly to him. The fact that I continue to insist that Comey should come honor Bakai. The young man just made my case. And the point that I'm making is this. Honor Bakai is not of a young age anymore. But he has the connection.
What is the interpretation of that? He's not a young age anymore.
He's old.
He's old?
Yes.
Does he have the strength to lead?
Yes, he still has the strength.
So
You saw him dancing with his wife the last time. He still has the strength. So please, let me try to diffuse you on that. So, Mr. Sono, on a very serious note, this young man is very concerned, and I agree with him. But here is why I wanted Comey to come honor Dr. Baka. Dr. Baka has the connection. Dr. Baka, a lot of Liberians, many young voters, believe in Dr. Baka as being a stabilizer. Number one.
What is stabilize? Why you
what you mean by stabilizing?
So will you please let me finish my statement? Where you listen? I'm not one of those people. Let me say this to you.
This is dangerous for our country. This sort of
it's not dangerous, Mr. So let me make my point, then you can come. Let me make my point, then you can come. I'm not one of your politicians that you're trying to grill. There's no grilling on the liberal here tonight. These are my own opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Let me express them freely. If you think this platform is a platform where intellectuals are allowed to express themselves freely, so please let me do that. Let me demonstrate to you that as an intellectual, I have a capacity to be able to express myself, and I make good sense. So please let a liberal speak. The point here is this. Let me address on a very serious note, Mr. So. Please let me address this young man because he saw what he's saying. He's saying here, he said it here, that he's young, and the fact that the reason why he's not going with Dr. Baka because of the age. He didn't say Dr. Baka does not have connection. He didn't say Dr. Baka is unable to lead. He didn't say that. His concern is the age. Because of that particular factor to this young man, because of the age factor, this is why I'm saying, I've been saying for years, that Kumi should go on Dr. Baka. Kumi does not have the connection. Dr. Baka has the connection. Let me be truthful. I'm liberal. They ain't got shit. Kumi got the money. Dr. Baka people ain't got money. So let's use Dr. Baka has a connection. Kumi has the money. Come in and blend these two together and win the election. In 6 years' term, Kumi is still young. In 6 years' term, Dr. Baka is not, I believe strongly. I could be wrong because I'm a human being, but I believe strongly Dr. Baka is not going to seek re-election. Mr. So, I'm speaking, please. Dr. Baka is not
keep going on and on. We already out of time.
You continue to interrupt. That's why I'm going on and on. Dr. Baka is not going to seek re-election after 6 years. Kumi then is going to show to the Liberian people how smart and how astute as a politician he is. And he will demonstrate to the Liberian people his ability to lead, which all of us know. But because he has no connection, Liberians are not going to let him have the executive marshal because they don't know his ability to lead. Mr. So, it's so simple. So simple. This is nothing, it has nothing to do with calculus. It's just a simple math. 2 plus 1.
Well, Nina, am I doing any simultaneous equation here? Mr. Joyce.
You know, look, let me say this. We continue to hear this song over and over. But all I'm asking is that why these people don't want to subject themselves to the democracy, the process of democracy, democratic process in Liberia? Why they can't go to the convention? We saw it, we followed this pattern of democracy. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, they all were Elizabeth Warren, they were all in this thing. They went at the end, they dropped aside. Joe Biden got a nomination. He went back and picked Kamala Harris, who was, I would say, the most harsh critic of him. So why Dr. Baka and Commission could not go into this convention and see who come on top?
So, Mr. George,
hold on there.
I hate to interrupt. I just want to point something to you quickly, please. During the election, when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were fighting over the nomination, there was a clear understanding among all of them. There was a question to ask. Even if you're not successful, will you be willing to go second? And resounding yes from all of them.
Nobody answered that. Nobody answered that question. Yes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. No. You didn't watch all the debate. Yes,
nobody answered that question.
You didn't watch all the. Yes,
why
they did.
Why you want to make us start here to satisfy?
They asked that question. What if they were not successful? Would they be able to go second?
You think it was understandable that Kamala Harris want to be the vice president?
If she was not successful and she said she doesn't mind whatever position that is required.
Mr. Toko,
in that case, why you guys didn't go through the process too, and you're trying to hijack this whole thing? Why you didn't go through that process?
Here's the thing. I will say again, Cummings came in the team without trusting. I mean, without verifying. He trusted the people.
You're missing the point. Today, Hassan Bility was on one of the networks. They asked a similar question, why this thing could not be settled. He said, LP refused. For what else they wanted to settle in her, LP refused. The Unity Party, ANC, agreed, but the LP refused to have any in-house settlement, whatever issue they were raising. So I tell you that Mr. Benna Ure had a cynical motive to destroy this CPP. That is the first thing. He had a motive, and I said from day one on the show, I said Benina Euro will be the destroyer of that institution, and today it comes to fruition. What I'm saying here is that the decision for anybody to go second or ever, it should be left, let the voter make up their mind, then the political leader can do the rest of the job. But if we want to say we want to process the democracy, we cannot do a croissant way of taking shortcut. Let these people, they should have gone to the convention. Whoever wins will have the power to nominate anybody they want. Okay. And if you feel that somebody will be of access to you, you will pick that person. And the second thing you mentioned about Tewa Gongo. On many interviews, Tewa Gongo has said that he will not work with any criminal or people who have defrauded the Liberian people. And the question came when he was making reference to asking about the Unity Party, if he was willing to strike a deal with them. He said no. He doesn't want to go to any group that have some criminal record. So I believe institution that Tewa cannot work with the Unity Party. So there's no way politics can change. But from right now, what he's saying, I don't think he will be able to work with Joseph Walker to go as VP to Joseph Walker. So what you're seeing there is not what playing out there. And your message about Dr. Walker, age, I don't even concern about age because I say, oh, so I ain't going to talk about somebody's age. But the problem here, the Unity Party, it has an excess baggage.
Oh.
They did not leave Liberia in a good position. Okay. Money was squandered. Many opportunities were missed. And if Mr. Walker, Dr. Walker, if at all he felt that something was wrong with that system, he had choices to make. He would have resigned and leave the government. He was not forced to stay there, but he did benefit them 12 years from everything that that government was offering to him. He did not want to come out to voice anything out. Today now he's not the agent of change. So are you telling me, because the Liberian people are so desperate, putting Baka to power is just bringing back the Unity Party? So today, if you ask me, politically speaking, if election were held today, George Weah is in a better position. Today, ask any politician, if election was held today, George Weah is in a better position than Cummings, than Baka. Okay. Because just take a power of three. One is 50, which is George Weah. The other is 25, which is Baka. The other 25, which is Cummings. So if they divide it, George will get 50%. They get 25%. So the problem here is that people, they have to do some soul searching. And the people from the camp, they are the ones that lighting the fire. And someone that got no voice, but because they want to be part of the system. So their mouths are very loud. Saying things that they're not supposed to say. Saying things that they were not part of. But because they want to get to a certain point. So they will say this thing to please the political leaders. And which is wrong and destroying the country.
Mr. Soul, if you don't mind, let me make this point quickly, please. And before we go, I want to make this prediction. And that prediction follow what Mr. George has just stated. If that statement is true, that Musa Ability said Kumi have, then I believe that Kumi and Baka will come back together. Now, let me come
back together. I said that when the trouble started, Musa Ability said,
if that statement, I agree with you. I'm just saying, I'm just adding my own. If that statement you made, if it is true, then I believe Kumi and Baka will come back together. But let me push a little further. No, I think there's something to it, and perhaps CDC and Dr. Weir have gotten wind of that, and therefore, who do you wove into your area now? Costa, who has been the strongest supporter and the loudest supporter.
Costa will most likely return home.
Yes,
Likely.
yes, I agree. So now, if Kumi, if what I'm
inside now is very extensive,
right. So what I'm saying here, if there's any truth to it, that the most likely Kumi might go back to Bakar, then the only benefit or the only substance in destroying that process will be to take Costa away. And then now you can see why this phone call was even initiated. Oh, politics in Liberia is going to be.
Let me say this. The Costa voice.
2023.
Let me say this. Costa got followers, but politically he doesn't have the base. He doesn't have the followers. Costa ran in Maserati 2017. He did not even acquire 1,000 votes. Muff, perfect.
It's not that. It's not about follower. I believe Costa can talk.
What is happening now?
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving it to him.
What is happening now?
He talk.
What is happening now?
He does not have the political capital.
No, I'm not talking about Costa contributing to vote, but Costa has the ability to talk and to incite and to make people to believe what he's saying. He has the ability.
I don't know if he had that. If he had that ability, then why he did not win the district election 2017?
No, listen, winning is a different thing, and having people to persuade people to come in a direction, which he did in the past, gave justifications of the decision when he smashed and slashed Boycott to literally to death, did it to CDC and went back, and now came back to Boycott. I can tell you there's a neverness within the camp of the very opposition. Costa is, besides this, that's his business. He running his institution. The ruling establishment has the financial capability to do anything. An election is all about money. This is why you saw billionaire Michael Bloomberg pumps in billions of dollars to demoralize and to turn the vote around. Costa, he can use his voice, and he has said this over and over. It seems that he's not saying no lie within the CDC.
Let him go back to the CDC and let's see what all his followers will follow him.
The opposition, he's saying no lie there. And why? And what is he's doing now? He's playing a good game now. He wants for his institution, his brand name to be sustained. And the only way that he can do it, he's not stupid. Why you think you were asking George? The question was deliberate. You want to kill me. The president will not come out to say, yes, we want to kill him. So he's playing the soft ball. He wants to go.
Look,
you can say he wants to get his equipments, all of that factor in. So there is a tool. You listen to him. There's a tool that he can use. He does not have you can challenge Western third world country is not here. He does not have how many times people can go to do a demonstration and this and that. So he wants to go home. George Weah and the CDC, on the other hand, knows that the whole world is watching. Whether he's a journalist, whether he's a talk show host, if he's kept being pushed and things like that, it's like media is doing a witch hunt government is doing a witch hunt. The saddest thing now, where is Serena Seafors? He came on the show that Costa is a criminal and he was going to extradite him. Now the president said he's free to come home. So what becomes of that case with the Ministry of Justice?
The president is a king.
Gentlemen. So
the president is a king now.
Mr. Saul, let us don't leave. I know we have to run, but let me make this quick analysis here as well. And that is, Costa, Mr. George keeps saying Costa, when he goes, perhaps the follower will not follow him. True. But when Costa goes back to CDC, Costa can now, through his voice, can now wake up the sleeping giant. That is the sedition. If Costa starts sinking, the sedition going to wake up, and then we're going to have a serious.
Yeah, Mr. George, I do agree.
Another thing I want to point out. Let me say this, Mr. George. Another thing I want to point out also quickly before I leave, and that is If Costa is now having this kind of conversation, he's also opening, because of that, there will be a huge opening now for now Cummings to now gravitate back to Dr. Bakai, because Costa had been a stumbling block as far as I'm concerned, calling him names and all those kinds of stuff. These are things that will make people to stay away. But if Costa is not being seen or perceived to be a double dipping, it will be easier for Cummings to now go back to
And I
Bakai.
can tell you, it's gonna be on a short-term basis, only strictly because of this consequential election is ahead. CDC not even gonna trust him. Boyka is now keeping close, even though he likes sleeping, but he's gonna keep it. He's gonna keep awake now because wait a minute, how was this conversation initiated? What prompted this conversation? What is going on behind the iron curtain that we didn't know, we didn't see all of a sudden?
The thing was scripted.
And he Costa giving a clear and good descriptions of that conversation with the president. Interestingly, I'm waiting to see 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 months down the road whether this ceasefire, this overnight telephone call, will you see, even though it's not an overnight, I want to know whether that ceasefire will be in place. If Costa demands, he wants his instrument, he wants his equipment. He said, hey, if those equipment cannot be turned over, what would be the language next? That's what we'll be looking for to see. Gentlemen, time has caught up with us. We're going to be back here, same time, same station, and see. I don't know what that Cummings and Boycott. Interestingly, this year, think it's an open confederation. So Comey is going out there finding other people. Joseph Boyka is going out there finding other people, and I think the government is pretty well in a good position. Good position in the sense that the CPP is not going to hold. It's already on life support. We just if somebody is just waiting now to remove the plug because it's a waste of resources, and everybody going to be going their way. The Liberal Progressive of the Liberal Public Radio from Saxton, Sacramento. I want to thank you, Pat George. Thank you so much. And to our valuable viewers, listeners, and followers, I want to thank you. Maybe let us know. We want to bring some folks here. Let them give their own views. Whether you're supporting CDC, you're supporting ANC, you're supporting boycott. Maybe our next edition will throw an open backs out there, and those who want to come on live, let them have their say. We need to take this thing from the hands of the politicians and let Liberia be able to discuss their country with authenticity, because these politicians, I said this, something to say I was XYZ. I say here, these people did not have a genuine, authentic conversation before they put together. It was out of anger, it was out of bitterness. They didn't discuss all. Some people left their baggage to the door, and other people went in swinging. This is where they get us. They put this crazy document. They didn't do due diligence. Some people say photocopy were in color. Other people say it's in black and white. So we can't even trust them. And I said that. And I still not trust them with these people. For 4 grown-up people to come together that they were unable to put their ideas together, to condense it and be able to make an argument. Believe me, if they take state power, they're going to fight, because everybody want to be managing director or NPA or Lpr-Tv. ANC will want it, Unity Party will want it, Banana Euro will want it, and it's just going to be a chaotic situation. Gentlemen, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. This is what happens recently when I went to my alma mater to attend the 57 commencement convocation. I'm going to be back home. That's the William V. S. Tubman High School. I was once in that auditorium years back, and that was the only time I really released my camera. So, Mr. Tor, I want to thank you so much, and by God's willing, we're going to be back here with another edition. To all our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for your time this evening. So we will always, and don't get us, we always reaching out to all of these political institutions, but guess what? They are selected. It is at their own volition where they want to go to speak. Some of them want us to send them questions where we're going to ask. It doesn't make sense. It's not a Sherman Brown yes or no type TV we can, fair to mention, we can tell you exactly the substance, we can give you the outline of the conversation based on who you are and what you want in society. Fair to mention. But to read question 1 to question 10, what's your name? How old are you? Why you want to be president? Those are peanut butter and jelly questions. That's not what we want to ask. We're going to ask real questions that will scratch their head, and Liberia will get a good sense of direction. It's not an entertainment. So they want to come, fine. They don't want to come, we will sit and have a conversation. And we want to know where they are heading, where they want, the direction they want to take our country. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Let's do it again. And I'll leave you with this song about our own man, DJ Archivon, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island, in my own state here. Bye-bye.
Everybody, everything's going bad. The situation getting worse. Everybody in the country getting mad. Dishonesty, poverty on the rise. The leaders them making empty promises. Promises with no damn strategies. Yeah, this is better days, money in the pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses.